lilipat yung mga, well, whatever, how many number of houses. We will, the LG will provide the relocation
Yes po.
relocation areas.
Yes po.
Okay, pero we will build their houses for them.
Sorry, Mr. President, light material lang, Mr. President, kasi kung talaga yung usual na housing, mabuang naman tayo, Mr. President, hindi naman kaya sa province and the LGU.
Mali,
But,
kaya nga eh.
kung light houses lang, light materials lang, kaya namin. So para habang ginagawa nila, ang naisip ko kasi, Secretary, was the tupad. I did not realize the cash for work. So habang they're building it, anyway, materials I provide for them, if they're skilled, so may kita pa rin sila.
Generally speaking, that's the strategy that we've employed. Is that pagka ganyan, because yung non-cash, after a while, siyempre, food is the most important, water is the most important, but after a while, may pangangailangan na yung household na hindi food at hindi basic survival supplies. So, napupunta tayo sa cash for work. Generally, that means the rehabilitation. Whatever, maglinis sila, sila, whatever yung gagawin nila. So we can apply that to the rebuilding their houses. But again, we depend on the LGU to tell us where it is going to go, what kind of community we're trying to put together again.
Pero Mr. President, meron pa ho kaming ginawa ni Mayor. Sabi namin, I told the Mayor, we have to be very strict, especially with the barangay captains involved. If we transfer all these affected families, dapat wala na magtatayo ulit sa area na iniwanan nila. Or else babalik-balik yung problema natin. So we hold accountable the leaders in the barangay. Kasi you're supposed to be there. So if there will be people who will be building houses again in these areas that are not supposed to be new build zone, then you will be accountable. You should not run next election. Because you're not responsible.
Yeah. Well, that's, anyway.
Mr. President, sorry, that is our, nag-isip na lang kami kung how we will do it. Kasi perennial talaga to.
Well, we just have to come up with a plan, and you'll have to guide us.
Yes,
but of
po.
course, the national government is there. This is what we do. Pag the local government has expended all its supplies, and done all of the effort, that's when we come in. And so, but this is a new kind of rescue in the sense na ililipat na talaga natin. And make it a permanent move, hindi transition. We have to think of many things. Whenever you move them, what is the transition? Kung sira yung bahay nila ngayon, saan sila titira habang ginagawa yung bago nilang lugar? So that's not it's not as simple as kagaya yung sa painting na bayanihan na linilipat lang yung bahay. We have to really build the community that will be able to support the locals.
Alam mo, Mr. President, because ang lilipatan nila na area, it's also within their barangay. Hindi naman malayo din kung saan yung submerged yung mga bahay nila. So kumbaga, before we did this, we talked to the people, amenable naman po sila eh.
Oh, no, that's not a problem. I don't think it's a problem. As long as yung lilipatan nila, ganun din ang sitwasyon. May eskwela, may
Yes,
na
po.
malapit sa trabaho,
Yes, po.
meron silang palengke, it's the usual thing.
Yes, po.
But again, that means that we have to build another community. If you have to move the barangay, you have to build all of the support infrastructure for that barangay. The water supply, the roads, the electrical, etc. So anyway, we'll continue to study that. Marami tayong ginagawang ganyan, and it really falls under climate change. The climate change assistance. This is the adaptation part to our response to climate change.
Mr.
Okay.
President, sorry ha, yung sa Department of Agriculture lang po. Kasi ang problema ko ngayon, yung mga farmers talaga na baka mabaon ulit sila sa utang. I got all their names already. In fact, chinek namin lahat ng mga expenses nila ngayon planting season na to. Mas priority ko po talaga sila. Thank you po.
Yes. Yeah. The DA can provide, but at the moment, di naman sila makapagtanim. We will have to wait until everything subsides. But the assistance in terms of inputs, seeds, fertilizer, lahat yung mga nasira, it's available. But we have to wait for the weather to improve bago natin pwedeng gamitin yung mga ano na yan, yung mga supplies natin. That's really put aside for this kind of situation. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Gov. Who's next? Gov Pimentel, please, if you could proceed with the report on Surigao del Sur.
Magandang umaga po, mahal na Presidente. Yung sa low pressure sa LPA po, masyadong konti lang naman yung minimal lang naman ang damage sa amin. Yung mga evacuees na 5,207 sa number of persons 24,956, number of families outside evacuation center mga 10,000, and number of persons outside evacuation center 43,536 po. So medyo makaya-kaya po namin yan. Hindi kamukha ng Agusan del Sur. I am more concerned po yung rehabilitation ng earthquake na 7.4 magnitude. Kasi yung mga eskwelahan po namin, sa dami ng aftershock, naka 10,000 na po kami. May 5.2, 4.8. Yung iba po hindi pa mapasukan. At saka magpapasalamat po kami ng marami sa inyo na sa immediate action nyo nung December, dumating kaagad po si Secretary Rex Gatchalian, si Yusek Kahipi, at saka si R.D. Doliaga. Nagbigay po kaagad ng 160,000 food packs at saka 3,000, 5,000 AX. At ang lastly po, nagbigay po si Secretary Rex Gatchalian ng 70 million para sa 5,025 affected na damaged houses. 12,510. Maraming salamat po. Ang concern ko po yung nandiyan naman po yung DPWH, gumagawa po naman talaga sila ng trabaho nila. Yung concern ko po yung how to maintain ng mga barangay roads namin na 2,000 kilometers. Imbis na nagre-repair pa po ako, ito na naman yung bagyo, ito na naman ang baha. Naubos na po yung 70 million ko na pang fuel. Hindi pa ako natatapos. Baka matulungan niyo po kami dyan sa fuel para kasi hindi ako makahiram ng equipment ng DP kasi busy rin sila. May equipment po kami, naubusan lang kami ng fuel. At again po, pasalamat na tumutulong naman po si Congressman Johnny at saka si Congressman Momo sa pag-rehab. Yun po, kasi long term po ito eh. Lalo na yung mga far-flung barangays hanggang ngayon, putol po ang kalsada. At yung mga wooden bridges.
Meron ba tayong initial assessment ng mga possible and non-possible sa Surigao?
Sa LPA lang po yan eh. Mas concerned ako sa earthquake. Kasi yung office nyo po, sabi ko, gusto ko yung sa earthquake, ayaw nilang pumayag kasi LPA lang daw. Bako hindi naman kami masyadong na-damage.
Kahit anong disaster, pwede.
Pasensya na po, oras na po na nandyan na po kayo eh.
Okay, let's move to that muna. Meron ba tayong initial assessment after the pagtama ng earthquake?
Actually, what we have done actually, Mr. President, is actually we have assessed actually yung mga damaged buildings.
Buildings pa?
Mga buildings muna po yung inano namin, especially yung mga school buildings. And we have made this assessment, and I think we have already forwarded it to OCD yung requirements for the rehabilitation of the school buildings po.
Oo, patong-patong yung lindol. Tapos, yun sa Davao, may effect yung lindol, nag-loosen yung lupa. Kaya umulan na, bumagsak na.
Malalakas
So, I
po
think
yung
the same thing will
aftershock, may
happen here.
5.2, 4.8.
Oo.
Naka 10,000 na nga po eh. Yung nasisira na ulo namin eh. Ang aftershocks, yung ano po, yung immediate po, yung sa highway, di ba, nire-repair nyo na, pero dapat mabigyan yan ng funding. At saka yung eskwelahan po talaga kasi palaki ng palaki yung mga crack. So hindi ko mapapasukan ng estudyante, baka bumagsak.
Oo. Well, another. So, okay. Nakasama na yung sa lindol. But, unahin na natin ito. In terms of the evacuees, I think okay na tayo. Nakakapag-provide naman tayo ng pangangailangan nila. All right. So now it's the more long-term damage that we have to worry about.
Opo.
Yun na nga, yung mga kalsada na at saka tulay, pati tulay.
Opo, yung importante po, yung sa highway naman, di ba na-check nyo na po, Secretary. Ginagawa na nila na paraan. Ang concern ko po, yung sa mountain barangays na hindi na madaanan ng kalsada at saka yung mga kahoy po na wooden bridge, inuhuli naman ng DNR. Saan kami kukuha ng kahoy? Dapat po ma-repair yan. Dapat mabigyan kami ng konting leeway ba na yung exempted sa DNR yung paggawa ng wooden bridge.
Now?
Mga wooden bridge sa mga barangay po. Kasi hinuhuli ng DNR yung mga kahoy namin. Kako para hindi naman pambahay yan, pang ano yan, tulay.
We'll see what we can do. Para matapos na yung problema, hindi. Sige, of course, we'll take note of that. Wala natin sa report, but of course, it's important. Ating mga thoroughfares are very, very important. We do, yung prioritization talaga namin, uunahin talaga namin yung mga isolated para buksan, para madalan natin ang tulong.
Yun nga po yung concern ko eh. Yung upper barangay, hindi na sila makababa. Wala nang kalsada.
So,
Tapos putol pa ang wooden bridge.
So, pag na-identified naman natin yung mga isolated na barangay, yun ang unahin natin yung mga daan papunta doon para makapasok na tayo.
Magpatulong lang po ako doon para madaanan.
That's the first. And then titignan, of course, yung susunod na ron, tuloy-tuloy naman ang public works na nag-a-assess. Tinitignan habang basta't medyo medyo mas maganda ng weather at tapos na ang pagbaha. Pwede na sila talagang matignan talaga nila na mabuti kung ano naging damage sa kalsada, yung mga erosion, yung mga footings ng tulay, all of these things they will have to assess properly. Tapos bibigyan tayo ng recommendation kung anong dapat gawin. Kung minsan kailangan maglagay ng mas bagong tulay, kailangan lalagyan natin ng slope protection, lalagyan natin ng drainage, whatever. The public works will assess all of that at bibigay sa atin later on. Once we are able to go properly, padala yung mga engineer nila, mapakita talaga matignan talaga kung ano yung naging problema at paano natin aayusin. Okay.
Maraming salamat po, Mr.
Thank you.
President.
Salamat po. Okay, the next item is the OCD with the RD of the OCD, Regional Director Maso will give us the government response so far to the effects of the Northeast monsoon.
Good morning, His Excellency,
Good morning.
Ferdinand Marcos Jr., Mr. President. I'm tasked to report on the government's response to the flooding in the region. This is a consolidated response from the national government and the local government units. 77,972 families or 313,408 persons were provided with different kind of relief assistance, a total amount of 106 million as of yesterday, but And this morning, we just accounted a 115 million cost of assistance in total, but we expect this to rise because of the incoming assistance, Mr. President. The items are as follows: family food pack, medical supplies, family packs, NFIs, other NFIs, shelter repair kits, tarpaulins, generator set, hygiene kit, and other NFIs such as jerry cans, sleeping kits, blankets, etc. Now, for the needs requested, we consolidated as a whole for Caraga region the food items as expressed by the governors this May. In the forms of rice, we have initiated, OCD has initiated the release of rice for Agusan del Sur, 530 sacks, and Agusan del Norte, 500 sacks of rice. And there is still 3,000 more that we can provide as if the LGUs will request. And also bottled waters have been already provided. And as of yesterday, we forgot to write there, 2 units of water filtration units have been deployed in Santa Jose, Pagob, Agusan del Sur yesterday. And for the non-food items.
How much is the throughput of the water purification? In other words, how many liters can you purify in 1 hour? Or
that's only 60 liters because this small, only 2 yesterday.
60 liters
per hour.
Per hour?
Yes po. But we expect more to come from other regions. OCD, our offices are augmenting. So we're expecting more filtration, water filtration units, Mr. President.
Yeah, you know, we should look into, I learned this during Yolanda. There is an actual organization, international organization, that provides water purification. And the technology that they give us is they only give the yung filter mismo. Ikaw magpo-provide ng balde, bubutasan mo yung balde, then you put this inside. It is any kind of water. Ang demonstration nila, kumuha sila nung galing sa kanal na tubig. Tapos paglabas, ininom niya. Sabi na it's safe. You just have to clean it every so often. Each balde can process sufficient for 100 people every day. So maybe we should get that. Pamigay na lang natin. We should start to acquire that. I'll give you the name of the
Over,
I'm sorry.
it's over life or
Correct.
we work with them, Mr.
Yeah.
President. We use them sa community
Oo.
community driven. I'll take care of it,
Because
Mr. President.
that's a very simple technology. All we provide is the bucket. Then bubutasan lang para magkasya yung filter. And then kumukuha na lang ng kumukuha. You just reload and reload. It's 100 persons per day. It is sufficient for 100 people per day.
Well,
Yun ang ginamit namin. Kasi wala pa, nung Yolanda, wala water purification na machine. So that's exactly the one.
Mr. President, we work with them.
Yeah.
I'll take it on from there.
Yeah,
Tapos
take it out. Yun lang ang ginagawa, that whole organization, that's all they do. That's all they do.
Hindi lang ho ako naniwala nung una eh. Kaya,
Oo. Oo. Tapos para hindi na natin, kukunin yung mga pagkatapos kukunin pa natin. Ito iwan na natin doon. Hindi ba?
Mr. President?
Yes,
But
please.
for the filters po, hindi ba mahirap, isn't it difficult to access the filters that they provide?
Oh. No, it's
And now, how often do you change it?
you don't have to. You backwash. You wash it. Yeah. Kasi it's yung parang
Available
halos
po.
yung dinadaan nila sa
It's available in the market.
very thin membrane, yung parang sa dialysis, yung ganun kanipis. Ang dumadaan lang talaga tubig. Nothing else passes. That's why that's their demonstration is they get the water from kahit yung madumi talaga. May amoy pa nga yung tubig eh. Yes. Go ahead, please, Secretary.
One of the tasks of the OH is also water testing. So nagbibigay kami ng mga test kits sa local government to check for coliforms. Kaya kung talagang duda pa rin kayo, you can test it. And then we'll find out if fit for human consumption yung water.
Yung ano lang, the only downside to that system is that there are no nutrients. Kasi tanggal talaga lahat, everything except the water, ano. But that's a relatively small problem to.
Talk to them again, Mr. President.
Yeah,
We
please
do
do.
work with them.
I think we should already be getting a regular supply so that when we have these disasters happening, syempre ang immediate yung bottled water. Di magdadala tayo ng bottled water para may tubig naman. But hindi naman pwedeng forever yung bottled water, di ba? So we have to find another system habang nag-aantay sila ng water system. So maybe like if you're going to move your community somewhere, yun na muna ang kanilang gamitin. 10 na ganun, whatever it takes, di ba? So that they have at least a source of fresh water that's drinkable, that's potable. Okay, please go ahead.
Yes, if I may, Mr. President, those are the needs, I think the sectoral needs, and I think these are also mentioned by the good governors earlier on non-food items, wash items, on the farming and livestock, the fishing implements, and the school items, I think already mentioned. But on the status, there's still an ongoing assessment on this and how to provide. We'll be coordinating with respective LGUs on their requests. Next, on the assessment, evacuation may extend at least a month due to the slow receding of flood waters. Schools are utilized as evacuation centers due to the inadequate evacuation centers at the LGU level. Water discharge from the upstream from Davao region contributes to the increasing water level of the Agusan River, affecting Butuan City and identified municipalities in the province of Agusan del Norte. Communities in low-lying areas or along river banks are still flooded, and insufficient water rescue and life-saving assets of LGU. These are our assessments, and these are recurring every time, every flooding. Our recommendations: number one, sustainability of humanitarian relief efforts, as also manifested by the Governor of Agusan del Sur earlier. Timely provision of the following: agricultural interventions, assistance to the micro, small, medium enterprise, shelter assistance, medicines for common illnesses. Third is the development of comprehensive flood control measures for Agusan River. That is a river basin approach, not just particular on LGU, so from upstream Davao to downstream in Butuan City. Construction of standard evacuation centers, and last is the immediate repair and rehab of damaged infra, such as roads and bridges and lifeline services. And that would be all, Mr. President. Daghang salamat.
Okay, thank you very much. I think the immediate response, we are doing all right. That makapag-provide naman yung DSWD ng immediate assistance. The DILG also is able to provide well in terms of the water systems and other assistances. And the DOH is there also to provide the medicines that are needed. So what we need, of course, once again, what we need from the LGUs is that you must tell us what it is you need. Hanggat maaari, dadalhin namin sa inyo. And again, to repeat myself, the last mile is always all the way down to the barangay level. So you will have to, but that's, in my experience, that's the best way to do it. You cannot expect the national to go all the way down to the barangay level. Hindi namin alam kung saan pupunta, kung saan yung talagang di ba? Kasi kung sa report lang, it's not exactly but the governors know, the mayors know exactly what's going on. All right. So in terms of the immediate response, I think we're all right. The DA and the Public Works are in essentially the same position. They have to wait until the event is more or less over para maka-assess sila na mabuti kung anong tanong yung pangangailangan. The Department of Public Works will look, of course, and we will, as usual, prioritize those thoroughfares that are not passable, but are going to the na-isolate na barangay. So yung may mga na-isolate na barangay, unahin natin yun. DA again will do the assessment, and then we will provide the assistance to the farmers, both in terms of cash, also one, habang meron silang gamitin in the meantime, and then when it's time to plant, then we will be able to provide seedlings para makabawi naman sila, because walang ani ngayon. Yeah, that's the problem with that. All right, okay. Is there anything else? Any of the other yeah, Johnny. Yes, please go ahead.
Sir President, this is still in connection with the report of Governor Pimentel regarding the earthquake calamity that happened several months ago in Surigao del Sur. There were some damages, most specifically in the school buildings, but there is one building, Mr. President, that is very important that was damaged during the earthquake. And this is the Pag-asa building in Hinatuan, which houses the Doppler radar station. This is the one that monitors typhoons that come to our country. It's not being used now because the building has been damaged. So this is very important, Mr. President. In fact, I was going to talk to Secretary Solidom. Sana mabigyan natin to ng pansin.
DOST mag-operate yan di ba? Sila nag-operate.
Yes, Pag-asa, DOST.
Pag-asa,
yes, correct.
DOST,
But I already sent a letter to DOST. Until now, there's no action. For now, it is not in operation. So, importante ho ito kasi ito ho nag-monitor. The Hinatuan is the reference point po. Kung makikita po ninyo.
Did the Secretary Solidum give you a reason kung bakit hindi in-operate?
The building itself was damaged.
I see. So, hindi talaga magamit.
The radar Doppler. The radar Doppler nandun pa po. Pero hindi magamit because hindi na ho pwedeng pumasok yung mga tao doon. Because nag-crack na nga.
So it's just the building
Yes
that needs
po.
to be
Yung radar Doppler
rehabilitated.
nandun pa po. Opo.
Oh, sige. Yun ang kayong
Yes, Mr. President, I think we can structurally assess
Yeah,
the damage.
have a look at it
And
because
come up with,
very important yan for the forecasting.
Yeah.
Para at least may warning tayo when these things happen. Meron tayong warning na may parating na heavy rains, low pressure area, whatever. So yes, we'll discuss with Dr. Solidum about this. Oo.
Yes, Mr. President, because this is very important. Because whenever there is a typhoon alert, ito ho yung ginagawang reference point. Ito palaging unang nagre-report sa Pag-asa.
Okay.
Lang po, Mr. President.
All right. Yes, I agree with you. It is very important. In all of the things all these disasters, the climate change and everything, the forecast has become more and more and more important. Because ang hindi ba dati pagka sinabi may bagyo parating, meron tayong 3 to 4 days, di ba? 3 to 5 days. At sasabihin level, ang typhoon signal number 2 lang, number 3 kayang-kaya yan. Ngayon iba na. And this was like Odette was the same. Yolanda actually was the one that started it. Pag sabi may low pressure area, ano lang yan? Typhoon signal number 1, 2 lang yan. Within 24 hours yung Odette naging 5. Within 24 hours. And that's the new phenomenon that we have to face. That's why forecasting has become even more important than it always was. And that's why tama yung concern mo na kailangan kung meron talagang Doppler radar doon na ginagamit for the forecasting. That should be operational. Sige, tayo. I'm sure kung building lang, mabilis lang siguro natin maayos yan. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Tani.
Mr. President, I have a picture here. If I can show it to you, or maybe to Secretary Bonoan later, I already have a picture of the building itself. The building that houses the Doppler
Houses
radar.
yung Pag-asa facility.
Opo.
Oo, sige, you coordinate together. All right. Thank you for that. Is there anything else anybody would like to talk about? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Magandang tanghali na.
At this juncture, the President shall lead the turnover of assistance from the Office of the President to the provinces, municipalities, and city affected by the recent trough of the LPA and the December 2023 earthquake in the Caraga region. For Agusan del Sur, may we call on Governor Santiago Cane and the mayors of Agusan del Sur to receive the financial assistance for those affected by the LPA and earthquake. Once again, for Agusan del Sur, may we invite Governor Santiago Cane Jr. and the mayors of Agusan del Sur to receive the financial assistance for those affected by the LPA and earthquake. Thank you, Governor Cane and mayors of Agusan del Sur. Next, may we call on Governor Angelica Amante of Agusan del Norte and the mayors of Agusan del Norte to receive the financial assistance for those affected by the LPA. Thank you, Governor Amante and Mayor of Agusan del Norte. Next, may we call on Governor Alexander Pimentel and the mayors of Surigao del Sur to receive the financial assistance for those affected by the LPA and the earthquake. Thank you, Governor Pimentel and the mayors of Surigao del Sur. And to represent Governor Lyndon Barbers of Surigao del Norte, may we call on Ms. Fe Martinez, the Provincial Treasurer, to receive the financial assistance for those affected by the earthquake. Again, to receive the award in behalf of Governor Barbers of Surigao del Norte is Ms. Fe Martinez, the Provincial Treasurer. Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Next, may we invite Mayor Ronnie Lagnada of Butuan City to receive the financial assistance for those affected by the LPA. Thank you, Mayor Lagnada. At this point, may we request the President to grant a photo opportunity with the congressmen present. Once again, for all congressmen present, may we invite you in front for a photo opportunity with the President. Thank you, Mr. President. That ends our situation briefing for today. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.